Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me on a Tuesday evening. I'm Lucas Chong from Manchester's leading property developer, Select Property Group. I hope everyone is keeping safe in Singapore and Malaysia. And welcome to today's webinar launch on our latest property in central Manchester, 360. On the agenda today, we'll start with an introduction to Select Property Group. We'll also take a deeper look into the UK property market, as well as the Manchester property market updates. We'll look into the process of purchasing properties in the UK, as it might differ slightly comparing to purchasing a property in Singapore or Malaysia. And we'll also share on how success 360 has made during the pre-launch phase. And we do have exclusive webinar offers today for all attendees, for those who are interested to find out more. Now, for those who are not too familiar with Select Property Group, we are one of the UK's leading property developer and investment specialists. Now, we're a bit different from traditional developers as we specialize in identifying emerging markets for different asset classes, and we build properties there to get the most optimum rental returns and capital gain for our investors worldwide. And so far, we have about 13,400 UK and international properties delivered or in the pipeline. We've sold 2.1 billion pounds of property globally to date. And in terms of rental revenue, we have distributed or generated 154.4 million pounds to all of our investors worldwide. And something I would like to share as well is that what we do is that apart from developing the properties, we also sell the property ourselves. And more importantly, we help to manage the property from leasing of the property to rent collection. And as an exit strategy, we have an internal resale department that can help you to resell as well. So we've been doing that for the past 17 years to our buyers worldwide. We are based in Manchester for headquarters, and we do have global offices in Dubai, in Hong Kong, as well as in Shanghai, as we want to be close to our international buyers worldwide. And some of you may have heard or are familiar with the brands of our property. So all of our properties are branded in different categories. For example, Vita Student is the brands for our purpose-built student accommodation. This is a very established brand in the student market in the UK. And currently we have over 25 developments of Vita across UK. And worth to mention as well, Mapletree in Singapore has also invested recently at 165 million pounds in our Vita Student just in August this year. And in 2019, Deutsche Bank has also invested heavily in Vita Student. Now, apart from Vita Student, City Suites is the brand for our service hotel suites. Now, City Suites is located in central Manchester, and the first City Suites is completed in 2017. And delighted to share that our second City Suites is recently completed this year in July. Affinity Living would be the brands for our residential property. And currently we've got 3 Affinity Living developments in central Manchester and coming also to Birmingham end of this year. And worth to share for Crown Street, this is our portfolio in central Manchester in the skyscraper district. And our latest launch today, 360, will be under the Crown Street portfolio. Now, as you can appreciate, all of our properties are branded as we appreciate that the branding can offer certain services, criteria, and fetches a certain rental, which is the most optimum for investment long-term in terms of recognition as well. And without further ado, let's look into the UK property market. Now, whether you're new to exploring the UK property market or if you're a seasonal investor in the market, it is always important to first look at the market as a general to see if it might be suitable for you to explore further or which asset classes would be more suitable to your personal investment needs as well. But looking at the UK market in general, this is a report, a recent report, in fact, in September 2021 on the growth percentage in house price or capital gain by city in the UK. And as you can see, Manchester is ranking up there at 8.7% increase in house price. Whereas if you look at cities on UK average, they are ranging at around about 5 to 6%. Aberdeen or London would be more stagnant at this phase on a lower scale. So it is always important, especially if you are looking purely for investment, to invest your funds in an emerging market compared to a more stagnant or maturing market in that sense. And exactly this is what we do in identifying emerging markets for different asset classes and to build properties in that region. Now, some of you may ask, why is Manchester been growing so well? In fact, Manchester has been consistently the top 5 the top performing cities in the past 5 years, mainly due to the master plan of the Northern Powerhouse. Now, the Northern Powerhouse is a master plan that was announced in 2015 by the UK government. And the main objective is to divert the UK economy from London to North City. If you follow the market in the past 5 years, apart from properties, a lot of fundings and support are given by the government in different aspects in terms of business, in terms of transport improvement as well, airport expansion, as well as healthcare, IT sort of areas in different cities. So the idea is to boost the economy from London to northern cities, which is why northern cities has been benefiting from this master plan. Manchester has been the core city for this whole master plan, which is why it has been the top performing cities consistently for the past 4 to 5 years. And looking at, as a result of the master plan, now apart from the major brands that is already operating in Manchester, one of the measures is for the government to incentivize businesses to move their headquarters or operating branches from London to Manchester. Some of the big names worth to mention would be Booking.com is a bigger move to central Manchester, bringing in a lot of population. EY, Kellogg's, Amazon is also some of the major brands that have moved their headquarter office to Manchester, which is why for the Manchester rental market now, because population growth is 3 times higher than UK national average, the rental market is very active, and that results in a higher rental yield compared to the UK national average, as well as a higher capital gain. And if we look at the Manchester as a summary, the population growth is currently at 3 times faster than UK average, mainly because of the companies that are moving into. So even for our current properties that is renting, we find that a lot of tenants are new population moving from other cities into Manchester. 58% of graduate retention as well in Manchester. Now, as we can appreciate, Manchester has been famous for tertiary education with the Manchester University. And they also have one of the highest retention rate for Manchester. So a lot of students after graduate, they will stay in Manchester, they will live in Manchester, they will start working in Manchester, which contributes to the rental market as well. Now, there are 61 million annual visitors going into Manchester. And worth to mention as well, Manchester Airport is also undergoing a huge expansion. So we've got more direct flights now going into the Manchester Airport, and that definitely contributes to more visitors as well as economy to the city. And that would benefit not just the property, but the whole economy and market as well. And looking at these factors, we're expecting 55,000 new jobs to be created in city center alone by year 2025. So over 50% growth in new businesses is between 2014 and 2018. So looking at investment as well, I believe most of us here would appreciate that the best time to enter the market would be when the city or when the market is growing. That is when we can ride on the growth of this cycle. And Manchester is looking to be the top performing cities, one of the top performing cities in the next, I would say 5 to 10 years time as well. And with Manchester, the city population is currently rising by 15%. The rate new homes are currently being built, which is why Manchester is still very undersupplied of new properties. Although we do see new properties coming up in Zone 1 Manchester or even Zone 2 Manchester, now taking into consideration the population growth and properties that are being built under construction or just approved planning permission, we are still short of apartments in Manchester to keep up with the demand. There's up to 10 inquiries for every city center apartments at the moment. So rental properties are rented very quickly in the market currently, especially for northern cities, in specifically Manchester and Birmingham. And by 2022, residential housing delivery in Manchester will meet just 25% of annual demand. Now, one of the questions that I do get from a lot of my clients are, why invest in UK compared to other countries as well? Now, apart from the, flexibility of the rules, the housing rules in the UK for international buyers, one of the very important points is that because UK is still very undersupplied of apartments, which is why, when supply have not met the demand, the growth is at the most optimum, considering the timing to enter the market as well. And also there's 70,000 people now living in Manchester city center alone. And we're speaking on the city center of Manchester, Zone 1. And within Zone 1 Manchester, most of the population rent their apartments long-term. So this is the behavior and dynamics of central Manchester. Around about 85% of population in central Manchester rent long-term. And of course, as they settle down, they might buy a house in sort of the outer space of Manchester. So which is why for apartments rental in Manchester, typically, we are looking at a long-term rental. And crucially, Manchester has one of the highest proportions of young workers aged between 18 to 34 in the country. And this is a key demographic in the UK rental market. Now, later on, I'll share with you more on the location of 360. And this is very near to the financial district Spinningsfield. And our targeted tenants are definitely young professionals working within the vicinity. And this is also where most of the companies are moving to Manchester are located at as well. And if we look at Manchester projections as well in terms of both the price growth as well as the rental price growth, looking at comparing between Manchester and UK average, from 2018 to estimated 2022, we are looking at a significantly higher growth at 22.8% estimated for Manchester compared to UK national average at 12.6%. In fact, even last year during the pandemic, Manchester has seen a steady growth in terms of capital gain at 4% per annum, which is a fantastic growth considering the situation of the pandemic. Rental price growth as well in Manchester is also growing higher compared to UK national average, mainly because of the demand in the market. So we are looking at 17.6% estimated compared to UK average at 12.6%, which is why Manchester is such a popular choice for investment, by local investors as well as international investors. And I'd also like to share with you from the Northern Powerhouse Master Plan, two of the more major projects worth to mention as well. One would be the High-Speed 2 train. Now, the High-Speed 2 is a train line that connects starting from London and ends in Manchester Piccadilly Station. So this will reduce the travel time to half when it is completed. Now, currently, if we travel by train from London to Manchester, it takes about 2 hours. When High-Speed 2 completes, it will take around about 45 to 50 minutes. And the high-speed train would forecast to suggest up to £834 million increase in Manchester economic output as a result of this expansion. And another bigger expansion worth to mention would be the airport expansion, the Manchester airport expansion, as we briefly touched on earlier. Now, this is a £1 billion expansion of the Manchester airport to make it into a city airport. And this will complete sooner in 2023 to create a super terminal. As we have mentioned earlier, we've got more direct flights now going into Manchester. So that definitely contributes to the economy as well as the property of Manchester. And looking on this one, New York, Dubai, Singapore, Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong are some of the major cities that are now flying direct to Manchester. And on that note, we'll look into the process of purchasing in the UK for those of you who might not be familiar. Now, typically, purchasing in the UK is fairly straightforward. Once you've understood the market, once you've confirmed to proceed with a unit, for example, the initial deposit would be at £5,000. Payable on reservation. Now, this is paid together with a signed reservation form. And after which our investor services team will be assisting you to do the exchange of contracts or to do the sales and purchase agreement with your appointed solicitor in the UK. Now, we also have a panel list of solicitors for you to choose from. And these exchange of contracts will take about 28 days. And this is when you can review the contracts, the clauses, and if there's any questions on the contract queries, feel free to chat with your solicitor or our compliance team to clarify with you before you sign the contract. And once the contract is done, your first installment is then due, and this is typically at 20% or 30% depending on the unit type as well. And that would be your transaction done. So typically your down payment for purchasing a property in the UK would be your £5,000 deposit, your 20 or 30% installment, and then your solicitor fee, which is estimated to be at £2,000. For UK property purchase, there is no progressive billing like in Singapore or Malaysia. So it is typically 20% or 30% down payment, and your balance will be due on completion. And worth to mention as well, with Select Property Group, we have an investor services team. They are sort of the after-sale services team. So they're either based in our Shanghai office or Dubai office. So they will be assisting you to do the exchange of contracts with your solicitor. And then after which we'll keep you updated on the construction progress until completion. If you prefer to leverage on mortgage, we will then remind you to apply for mortgage 6 months before completion. And after that, we can assist you with handover and leasing of the unit, and we'll start to rent out the unit for you together with rent collection. So rental will be banked into your designated account, whichever account you prefer. And worth to mention as well, when you wish to exit your property in the future, Select Property Group, we have an internal resale team who can help you to sell your property as well. So the whole process can be done in your home country. You do not have to travel to the UK. Of course, if you're in the UK, we'll always love to meet you, to have our UK team to show you the properties as well. And without further ado, let's look into the latest launch, 360, in terms of the Manchester market. Now, 360 is our actually fourth phase of properties under the Crown Street portfolio. And this is a proven partnership, as for those who are familiar with our previous properties, Elizabeth Tower, Victoria Residence, and The Blade. Now, these are partnership between two developers, Reniker and Select Property Group. So Reniker and Select Property Group, we have been working together to deliver excellent residential developments in Manchester City Centre, specifically in this area of the Greater Jackson framework. Elizabeth Tower, Victoria Residence, The Blade, and 360 forms the Crown Street portfolio. So this is the residential portfolio within the Greater Jackson Master Plan, which I'll explain in more detail shortly. And just to mention as well, On the updates of the previous property, now Elizabeth Tower is completing very soon, just in January Q1 next year, 2022. And Victoria Residence has been completed in October 2020, and currently it is renting well. The Blade is also almost sold out now, and this will complete in Q4 2023. And looking at the location of 360, on this screen, we are looking at the Zone 1 of Central Manchester. And on my cursor, just to go around the city as well, the train line goes one round. So from Victoria train station here, going to Salford Central, going to Deansgate train station, going to Oxford train station, and then going to Piccadilly train station. Now, Piccadilly train station will be the new intercity station where we go out to London and other cities, and this is where the high-speed tour stops at. And if we look at the main city center of Manchester, it is in the M3 area. So we are looking at, if we saw the Harvey Nichols and Selfridges here, this is the main shopping district. Similar to Orchard in Singapore or KLCC in Malaysia. So this area, I would say, is currently more mature now. Our previous properties, Affinity Living, Embankment West, and our hotel City Suites are located in this area. If we look at going down to the Deansgate Road, now Spinningfield is the main financial district. This is where most of the offices are located at, and where the companies are located at, moving from London and other cities. Castlefield is a more premium leisure area, high street of bars, restaurants, and cafes. And if we look at the central, we do have Chinatown in the middle. And going down to Oxford area, now Oxford area is closer to the Manchester University, which is located down south. So we do see more student accommodation here. Now with the central Manchester, because land is very scarce now, the land are typically awarded to larger developers. So for those who have been looking into the Manchester market, now a lot of properties are now launched in sort of the borderline Zone 2 area, which is a very different market compared to the Zone 1 market. And in terms of the location of 360, this is located in the Deansgate area. And essentially, this is part of the master plan called the Greater Jackson Framework. And the Manchester Council is shaping this into the city centre too, as the main city centre is now maturing. The Greater Jackson Framework is a specific 10 years master plan starting from 2017. So we do have residentials, commercial schools coming up in this area. So in terms of location-wise, this definitely has to edge the benefits of capital gain, as this is the current priority regeneration area. And just to show on the Crown Street portfolio in terms of the position of the buildings. Now on this Victoria Residence, as we can see here, this is our one of the previous properties. So this was completed in October 2020. Completed property, currently renting very well. And then the sister tower, Elizabeth Tower, is sold out now as well. And this is completing in Q1 2022. Now, the Blade will be the third residential in this plot, and the Blade is also close to sold out now, and this is completing in year 2023 December. And possession of 360, this is a cylinder tower, the first cylindrical tower in Manchester. This is essentially the phase 4 of this Crown Street portfolio, and completion would be in Q4 2024. Now, in the middle of the 4 towers, it is confirmed to be a courtyard with some car park spaces available as well. And then on this side, we have the commercial side, which we will go into more detail. And just to show a few pictures of the Greater Jackson Framework. So this would be Victoria Residence, Elizabeth Tower. Now this picture was taken a while ago. Elizabeth Tower is looking fantastic now at 52-story. And as you can appreciate, for Manchester, most of the properties are fairly low rise, between 17 to 20 stories. And only in this area we can build taller buildings. So this is also known as the skyscraper district. So these are very iconic towers in the market and very well sought after because of the facade as well, which is more modern. And the sizes of the apartments are also around about 20% larger than the market standard. So these are very preferred by tenants, especially those who are moving from London, because essentially they are paying less to maintain the same lifestyle in Manchester. More images as how they will look like. So this is from another angle. On the left-hand side, this would be Elizabeth Tower and the blade located here. And as we can see, 360, the cylinder tower will be located here. So being a cylinder tower, as you can imagine, they offer a very open view as well, open bright units here. And to share on the key information on 360. Now the completion date for 360 is in Q4 2024. 360 is a 51-story high plus ground floor with residential floor starting from level 2 to level 48. So these comprise of 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and also penthouses. Now the service charge is estimated to be £2.75 per square feet, and this is payable annually. Now estimated insurance is at £0.5 per square feet. The ground rent would be another cost. So this would be just 0.1% of your purchase price, payable annually, and this is capped at £500 per year. There's also a 10-year standard new homes warranty provided. And worth to mention, the leaseholder tenure of this property is rather special because this is at 990 years. Now, most of the apartments in UK or in Manchester are at 250 years. So these are very special 990 years leasehold property. There are 3 basement levels of car park spaces in the building as well. And the apartment ceiling height is UK standard 2.4 meter floor to ceiling. Now, 360 together with the Blade, Victoria Residence, and Elizabeth Tower, they stand out because they are one of the very few developments in the market that comes with very comprehensive facilities. A lot of more basic apartments in Manchester, they have very minimal amenities with just a lobby. So the demand for rental or for apartment are now towards more comprehensive facilities as well, which is why the response or the rentability is so much better compared to the current apartments in the market, which is why newer launches now, they do come with more comprehensive facilities following the demand of the market. Now, on the ground floor, we do have the courtyard available, and there are some public car park spaces available as well. There will be a podium terrace located between the Blade and 360 on level 2, connecting to the resident lounge. And this will be courtyard landscaping. Worth to mention as well, as part of the Greater Jackson framework, the Crown Street Primary School is also just approved planning permission under construction. This will be located in between Elizabeth Tower and the Blade, which is very close to 360 as well. So that definitely adds value to the rentability and to the value of the property when it's completed. 360 is also one of the largest gymnasium, taking up, I would say, more than half a floor. And they do have a separate spin room as well as a separate sauna room. Of course, as our targeted tenants are young professionals, Gen Y tenants, we do equip our properties with live work lounge area, 24/7 concierge. That we do come with private meeting rooms, private dining rooms that can be opened out, that can be segregated for tenants to book for free. Total of 441 properties. We've got 151 of 1 bedrooms, 250 units of 2 bedrooms, 36 units of 3 bedroom apartments, and 4 units of penthouses on level 48. Now the payment plan for 1 bedroom would be £5,000 reservation fee plus 495 admin fee. And it takes about a month's time to do the exchange of contract. And once that's due, is 30% down payment for 1 bedroom. And your 70% balance minus the 5,000 deposit paid will be due only on completion. For 2 and 3 bedroom penthouses, it would be 20% on exchange of contract as down payment. And your 80% balance minus the £5,000 will be due on completion. So just to mention as well, your additional cost here would be your solicitor fee, as well as your stamp duty. Now, stamp duty for UK is tiered by amount, but typically for Manchester, we are looking at approximately 6 to 7%, which is a fairly low stamp duty compared to many other countries. Another reason why UK is such a top choice, especially when it comes to investing outside your home country. And before that, I would like to go into the Greater Jackson Framework, as this would be the priority regeneration area and why this plot offers such a great potential for capital gain. Now, looking at this triangle here, as we can see, this is the plot of the master plan of Greater Jackson Framework. Now, the Greater Jackson Framework is a 10-year master plan to build this into the city center too. And if we look at the plot here, plot A and plot C in green and purple, these are for residential use. So on plot A, we already have Deansgate Square, for those who are familiar. These are the earliest developments to be there by Renneker. These are completed and rented. And plot C will be where the Crown Street portfolio is located at. So to put into context, Victoria Residence will be located here with Elizabeth Tower, the Blade, and 360 on plot C. Now plot B and E, these are for commercial use, and currently it is still a car park. So it's not built yet, but this will be built into likely Grade A offices or even shopping centers when the master plan completes. And if we put this Greater Jackson Framework into the finished master plan, this is the position of the triangle in a different angle. So if we look at the 4 towers here, Deansgate Square, this is located on the plot A area. So these are the earliest residentials to be there. Elizabeth Tower will be located here on this corner with Victoria Residence. Both are sold out. And then for Victoria Residence, this is almost fully tenanted now with just the penthouse units being vacant. Now the Crown Street Primary School will be located in this position. Now this is sort of a mock-up image. So the school will be 2- and 3-story tall, and there will be a playground on the rooftop of the school. So a very good view as well. And this will be the position of the Blade. And for 360, this will be the position of 360. It would be a cylinder-shaped tower. Now the commercial plot in the middle here, so these are not built yet. I'll show you an actual site of the video later on of this Greater Jackson Framework. Now, if we look at this location, the Greater Jackson Framework is strategically connecting between the city center to a neighborhood in Zone 2 called Harms. So this is why the council is also building primary school, nurseries, clinics as well within this area. So it will be the city center too in central Manchester. So starting from 2017, so we are on the, I would say, 4th year. So we've got a good 6 to 7 years to come. And of course, as you can appreciate, when these commercial plots are being built up, your property value, your rental rate will also increase together with this. Again, on the position of the building, so we've got Victoria Residence located here. Elizabeth Tower, the Blade, and 360, and they are around about 32, 33 meters apart. And of course, being a cylinder tower, we've got open views to most of the units here as well, which I'll show more in detail for those who are keen to explore further. Yes, and this would be the actual site of the Greater Jackson Framework, or specifically for the Blade and 360 construction update as of November, which is last month, just to share with everyone as well. need to pause here as well. So to put into context, this would be Victoria Residence on the smaller tower, and then Elizabeth Tower here, already going up to level 52. Position of the blade and 360 will be here. So in terms of context-wise, the main city center will be in this direction. So this will be looking at Spinningsfield, the financial district, and going to Harvey Nichols, the shopping district. And then on this side, we are looking at Cheshire. So these are a zone 2 area. So these are more low-rise residential as well as some greenery views as well. Yes, and going into the floor plan as well, I do like to share with you the generic floor plan of 360 to give you an idea. So this would be on the sort of a level 1 of the building. So we've got the reception here. And for 360, it does come with a very large gymnasium. So in a pink area. And we do have separate spin room, steam room, and sauna room as well. This would be the amenity space, and then the sort of lounge area as well. And if you look at this corner here, this would be the position of the blade and 360 as well. And going into level 2, this is where the residential unit starts from. So on level 2, we do have the resident lounge, which opens up to the podium terrace, which is the courtyard linking to the blade. We've got private meeting rooms and dining rooms here, and some residential units to start with, 1 and 2 bedroom. And on a typical floor, this would be the layout for the unit. So the green ones are the 1 bedrooms, stack 04, 06, 09, and 01. So these are the 1 bedrooms. And then we've got 2 bedrooms, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, as well as 10. Yep, so essentially 5, 6, 7 will be facing the city center. And we've got 8, 9, 10, 2, which is facing the Cheshire of Greater Manchester, looking at greeneries and lower rise building. So as you can see, the layout are very spacious, functional layout, and being a cylinder shape is a very open, bright unit as well for all the units. This will be on the higher floor where we have 3 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms as well. Now, 3 bedrooms are the one in the orange. So these are a larger size 3 bedroom, and then we've got 2 bed lux as well. So these are larger size 2 beds on the higher floor. And more importantly, I would like to share with you the payment timeline just to get a gauge as well. This is based on a 2 bedroom. So just on the process as well on reservation, essentially your £5,000 deposit is paid to secure the unit. And then your 20% down payment is then due on exchange of contract. So this will be 28 days from the reservation date. With the legal fee payable here at approximately £2,000. So these 3 costing will be your down payment. And the rest of the payment will then be due in Q4 2024 on completion, which is your stamp duty. Now, stamp duty in the UK is tiered by amount based on the property price by 5, 7, 10, 15, 17%. So looking at Manchester, we are looking at approximately 7%, 6 to 7% of your property price. And of course, your 80% balance minus the £5,000 is then due on completion, and this is mortgageable. Now, one thing to note on mortgage as well for UK is a bit different from Singapore and Malaysia, because the earliest you can apply for mortgage will be 6 months before completion. So in this case, it would be around about June or July 2024. And the maximum loan to value for international buyers is at 75%. And interest rate is between, I would say, 3 to 4%, depending on terms. The terms of the period can go up to 30 years or more. So we take an average guideline of 75 years of age minus the purchaser's age, and some banks can go high as well. The earliest one can apply will be 6 months before completion, but because there is some validity of the approval as well, so 3 to 4 months would be the best timing. And for UK bank, they look at high consistent income. They don't look at your debt ratio outside of UK. So typically, a lot of our clients, international clients, I would say, would apply direct to UK banks, HSBC, Barclays, to name a few. We also have mortgage brokers based in Singapore who can assist you to apply for mortgage if you wish to. And that comes to the end of the webinar. Now, for those who are interested, today we have an exclusive webinar savings, 3% discount on Starbuy units. And this offer is available until the 10th of December. So for those who are keen to find out more, please do drop me an email. This is my email here, lucas.chong@selectproperty.com, to get full information on 360, or if you'd like to explore further on the UK market, I'm more than happy to assist. And also worth to mention as well, I'm currently also on business trip in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. I'm in the Westin Hotel from the 6th to 10th December. And for those who are keen to meet up as well for a one-to-one session, please do drop me an email or to drop me a message on my number. Here is my Malaysian number. And then I'll be happy to assist from there. Now, that will be the end of the webinar today. Thank you everyone for your time. I do appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you.